All right, hey folks. As I'm sure you can hear, the reason that I'm not with you today is because I am feeling ill. I couldn't, in good conscience, come to work and get any of you sick, especially with the Easter holiday coming up. You guys are finally getting a break after all of this stuff you've been doing. And if I got any of you sick, I would feel awful about it. So, I'm making this recording just to communicate a little bit of the information that I would have communicated during class to you. We're just going to do the basics, the bare minimum. Because unfortunately, I don't have a huge amount of energy to teach for a very long time. So today it is the 31st of March. What is due by 11:59 on Good Friday is your assignment slash grading scale portion of your handbook. I have in our course content section of Blackboard, I have put the YouTube links to those 2 days of class when we talked about assessment. Some of you were not here on those days. I sent you YouTube links to those videos, but they weren't available for everyone. If you want to remind yourself of what we talked about during assessment, the types of assignments that we sort of, as a class, decided, hey, this might be great. What do we think about participation as a grade, and how do we grade it? How do we justify what we're grading and how much it's worth, what percentage of the student's grade it is? We talked about a lot of those things during these 2 days. They are shortened periods, so total, I think these total around 2 hours rather than 2 hours and 5 minutes of class time each time. So they're relatively short. Um, and if you want to even just skim through them, just to remind yourself of what was talked about on those days to help you with the handbook or the portion of the handbook you are going to be turning in, then that's how to do it. You can go back there. As far as the other assignments that are coming up, let's go back over here. I will not see you guys this Thursday. I don't think I'm going to be at school that day, even if you want to drop in. Um, I have no idea, honestly. But the next project that's coming up is the concert repertoire project, and that might ring some bells because we talked about it earlier in the semester, but it just kind of went by the wayside because we had so many other things going on and snow days and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I think it's one of the more important assignments that we would do during this semester, so I wanted to make sure that we actually did this one. I've put some samples of concert programs up in the assignments portion of our Blackboard site. Underneath the unit plan, you can see all of these sample programs. Like this is a middle school and high school orchestra program. These are real school programs that I took from actual schools. So this is 7th and 8th grade orchestras. Then there's a high school string orchestra. Then it gives the personnel for each of those. It's wonderful. There are a bunch of different kinds of programs on here. This is a middle school combined program that has orchestra, symphonic band, and another band. So they have a symphonic band and an advanced band. And then there's the program for each of these. Gives the performers all of that. Has some other information. Some people choose to do this. They put etiquette in their etiquette guidelines in their programs. They've got QR codes. They decide to talk about their directors in there. Any acknowledgments, things like that. Upcoming events. So that's a pretty lengthy program. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, especially since some of it you would be making up. But if you want to, just to go through it, great. This is just high school band, I think. And this is also very recent. This just happened earlier this month. Excuse me. So a lot of this music is very recent music. One of the things that this director decided to do was to talk about each piece Now, this is sort of similar to what I would like in a perfect world, what I would like you to do um, with your assignment. If you could, instead of having sort of like program notes in it, it would be here telling you about the pedagogical use of Where Eagles Soar. You know, what sort of skills or what concepts about music would you be able to teach through Where Eagles Soar? Now, depending on the repertoire you choose, you may or may not be familiar enough with what you're choosing to do that. Even if you can only do it for one or two of the pieces, I think it would be a helpful exercise to go through for you. One of the things that we've sort of determined takes the most time is deciding what you're going to teach, how you're going to teach it. You really have to know the pieces up and down in order to do that. So I think that thinking about programming intelligently in this way is really a helpful exercise to go through. Again, you don't have to do it. I think it would be good if you did because I think it would be more useful to you in the end. So, how would you do that? What I would probably suggest is wherever you purchase music from. Let's see, let's actually look at one of these pieces. Let's see if I can find one that actually has it. Let's look for Encanto by Robert W. Smith. They do have the score, and it will show it to you as a preview, which is wonderful because then you do have the option to say, okay, what can these kids learn about through this? What would be good for them? One of the things that I can already see, depending on what grade is going to be playing this, you have some rhythmic passages in the beginning. But I don't know, I think high schoolers might be pretty well acquainted with that by this time. It looks like it goes into a mixed meter. That could be an interesting thing to do with your beginning high school band or your medium high school band. It doesn't show you the whole score, um, but you can listen to the whole score usually. So that might, if you're able to pull things out from just listening, if you're an auditory learner, if you're an auditory person, you might be able to do that really well. So that could be one way to go about it. If you have the ability to look at the scores, that would be really great. I know Dr. Cole has some of these scores. I know it's a little difficult because we're coming up on Easter break. So again, do what you can do with this. The reason that I'm having you do it is to help you in your future jobs. I think it's a useful assignment to go through. But here are the sample programs for that. If you can annotate them, great. Even if you're only able to do a couple of pieces, great. If you want to, at any point in time, look through my giant store of octavos. If you're planning on doing chorus, um, feel free to do that. I've got a ton of them, and you're more than welcome to take them all or just a stack or whatever. I'll ask for them back, but it would be great if you could get your hands on some actual pieces to look at so that you can do some intelligent programming. Um, with that having been said, we don't have too much else going on. Your unit plan, some of you I know may need to go out. The reason that these days are blank is because if you need to go out and teach for your unit plan, if you need some time to do that, you can go ahead and do that during our class time. I will catch you up on whatever we talk about when we're here. You know, I am going to be around. I am here right now. I'm gross, which is why I'm not in school, but I'm available for FaceTime or Skype or anything like that to talk with you about the repertoire project, the assignment or grading scale, about preparing your resume, about your professional goals and solutions, or your unit plans, your lessons, any of that. You can FaceTime me. My FaceTime contact information is just my first and last name at gmail.com. That's MORGANSOJA at gmail.com. And if not, we can just email back and forth if that works, whatever. But you're not bothering me. It's my job. I'm sorry that I'm not there and available to do it and answer your questions in person. But that having been said, I hope that you guys enjoy your Easter break in a way that is meaningful to you. And at the very least, I will see you all back in class on Tuesday, Tuesday the 7th. So I'll see you all then. Again, if you have any questions, email, FaceTime, call, any of that stuff. I'm around. Don't feel like you have to stay away or not ask your questions. I want to help. All right, guys, have a good rest of the day.